In today's video, I want to tell you why I love my job and how to make sure you pick one that you love too, especially if it's in medicine. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Zach with Dr. Eyeball MD. If you are new, I am a new oculoplastic surgery fellow, and I'm bringing you guys along on my ride through medicine and the whole journey that is becoming a doctor and a surgeon and all that good stuff. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, go ahead, subscribe down below and leave a like on the video if you dig it. So in today's video, what I want to talk about is why I love my job and why I didn't always love my job. And I want to talk about in this video why, if you're looking for a specific specialty in medicine or a specific career type and you want to love it, you want fulfillment from that job, because that's something that is kind of pervasive in our society these days, is to people not only want a job for the money, they want fulfillment from their job. And that's something that wasn't present, 50 years ago necessarily to the extent that it is today. So how do you pick a job that is going to give you that? How do you pick a specialty in medicine that's going to give you that? It's hard to know. So there's kind of two philosophies that approach this topic, and one centers around following your passions, following what you're interested in. The other philosophy centered around how to actually love your job and enjoy what you're doing and get fulfillment from it. Doesn't come from following your passions in terms of picking a career or a specialty in medicine. It comes from the craftsman model. So the traditional teaching that we typically get is that we should follow our passions, we should pick careers, we should choose specialties in medicine that align with our passions and our interests. The problem with that is that your interests and your passions don't necessarily mean that you're gonna love what you do, even if the job sort of falls in line with those. Now, I've made videos on this channel before talking about some of the reasons to go into ophthalmology or some of the reasons to pick certain specialties within medicine. But one that we haven't talked about is the craftsman model of how to actually enjoy what you do, how to enjoy your work. And this is really why I like what I do. For me, I'm in ophthalmology, I'm in oculoplastic surgery. These are things that I did not know existed until medical school. I didn't know what ophthalmology entailed as a specialty. I certainly didn't know what oculoplastics entailed. So I wasn't passionate per se about ophthalmology, as a medical student or as an undergrad, and that's not what drove me to pursue that field of medicine. What drove me toward ophthalmology, and I've said this before on the channel, is that I wanted a skill. I wanted a physical, tangible skill. And even though I didn't really realize what all was going into that decision, I knew that I wanted to do something with my hands and have a little skill. I wanted to be like a little craftsman, but on the level of a surgeon. And so that's the main reason that I wanted to do ophthalmology. And so that takes us into what's called the craftsman mindset. When we think about what is going to drive us to love our jobs, rather than picking the job based on what our innate passions may be, because it's hard to really know what those are and if they're going to translate into happiness in a job situation or actually being good at that job. But if we focus on the craftsman mindset, which involves trying to become the best at the thing we're doing. We focus on the craftsmanship, the skill involved, and the actual process of getting really good at the thing. So for me, the thing is surgery. It was cataract surgery and ophthalmology initially. And so what drove me was getting really good at the thing. It was a very well-defined parameters as to what I needed to do. I needed to be good at surgery. I needed to be good at cataract surgery. And so that's what I worked hard to do. In that process of refining the craft and getting better at the craft itself, I became passionate about ophthalmology. You see, it wasn't the reverse. I wasn't passionate about ophthalmology and that made me a better cataract surgeon. I focused on becoming a better cataract surgeon. I focused on developing the craft, developing the skill, and that had the reverse effect, although it may seem paradoxical, of making me more passionate about the thing. This applies to other things like motivation. People think that you need to be motivated in order to be productive and achieve things, but rather what's more true is that if you will just start doing things and just start with a task, you will find you then become more motivated. See, it's almost a reciprocal of the way that we want to think that it works. So you do the thing, and in the process of doing the thing and getting better at the thing, it makes you more passionate. It makes you more excited about it. So as I got better at cataract surgery, as I got more competent with the skill, it made me more excited about it. It made me more passionate about it, and that snowballed. As I became more passionate, I wanted to focus and hone the skill better. It was a positive feedback loop. As I became better at it, at the skill by practice and learning and studying, it cycled back. It made me more passionate about it. That made me want to learn it better. That's the thing to realize here, is that rather than trying to pick a specialty in medicine that you think follows your passions, that you think follows all of your innate interests. Pick something that gives you the ability to get good at it. So pick a specialty, pick a craft that you can really hone and get really good at. Whether it be, you know, in GI medicine, if you want to get really good at endoscopy, or if you want to be a cardiothoracic surgeon and be, you know, the lung guy, or whatever it is. Find something where there is a perfectible craft, and then in the process of perfecting that craft, you will become passionate about it. As you get better at it, you will like it more. So that is kind of the takeaway message. There's actually an excellent book on this called So Good They Can't Ignore You, where they talk about the difference between following your passions and adopting the craftsman mindset, and how going down the craftsman mindset route allows you to build something called career capital that then has the reciprocal effect of making you more passionate about the career in the first place. There are a few disqualifying characteristics that they identify in this book, 3 in particular, that if these things apply to a job, then they are not going to afford you necessarily the opportunity to pursue that craftsman mindset. So fortunately, medicine doesn't have these for the most part, but these are what they are. So number 1 is if the job provides few opportunities for you to distinguish yourself and to develop a particular set of skills, then it's going to be hard to adopt this craftsman mindset. Fortunately, most medical subspecialties and medical specialties in general do afford you that opportunity. I think the surgical specialties and the surgical subspecialties afford it to an even greater degree. Number 2 is if the job focuses on something useless or something that is actually unhelpful or just not helpful to the world in general, then it's obviously not going to allow you to adopt the craftsman mindset. Again, medicine doesn't apply there, so you're good for the most part. And number 3 is if the job forces you to work with people you dislike. So that one's a little bit tougher, but once you get out into, you know, the practicing world of medicine, you can have some more flexibility with that. So the key point here, and it's all coming back to this, is that you want to pick a specialty, pick a job that allows you to perfect a craft. And in my mind, the more well-defined that craft is, the easier it is to kind of tackle it and focus in on it, kind of measure your ability to get better at it and kind of chart your progress in it. And then you get that positive feedback where you become more passionate and excited about it. So how to pick a career that you're passionate about is in fact not what you should be doing in the first place. It's picking a career that allows you to perfect a craft. Perfect the craft, build career capital, and then you will become passionate about the job. Don't pick something so outlandish and so, you know, outside of your interest that you're never going to enjoy it. Just consider this mindset when you were looking at medical specialties. Consider it when you're looking at any job. I hope you guys found that video helpful. If you did, leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, check out that book, So Good They Can't Ignore You. It's really good. I'm Zach with Dr. Eyeball MD. I'll see you guys in the next one.